Hi there again, this is AZ Bill 3433 once again. On my last video, at the end of the video, I said I would go over this particular stove that I built several weeks ago. And so anyway, let's get started. I'm out in my garage. It's about 92 degrees here in Arizona today. Beautiful day, but a little bit on the warm side. So here we go. These are tent stakes that I've cut down. I've actually straightened out there's actually an angle on them when you buy them for tent stakes. So I've straightened those out and cut them down. The actual body, again, this is an 1.25 inch by 1 inch ID tubing, aluminum tubing. The burner tube is, and of course the micro nipple. And behind there, you can see that there's actually an O-ring behind it. That's a 1/8 ID by 1/4 inch OD O-ring that I fit over the threaded portion of the nipple before I thread it on, just in case there might be some leakage. There never has been in the past. So, but the bottom portion is actually, I've taken off the paint, Budlight, bottoms of Budlight bottles, the aluminum bottles, and I've taken off the paint on this one just to make it look a little nicer. And what there are actually three in here, three actual bottoms in here. The outer one here is actually a bottom of a bottle that has been actually expanded, like putting a full bottle or a complete bottle and then forcing the bottle inside to expand it. And then there's a inner portion that you can't see, of course, that turns in the opposite way, fits in there snugly, and then is JB welded. And then the third one is actually constitutes the bottom. Now the reason for that is I want to drill through both the outside one and the inner one so that when the stakes go in, they're a little bit, they have some stability to them. They go in loosely, not, if you see any mini bowl designs or smoke eater 908's design, they're all kind of pressed in. Well, these go in fairly easily, but they do seat down in the bottom of the bottom plate. That's only a very small. I only cut that maybe 1/8 to 3/16 width of the Budlight bottle, and then I actually JB welded it into the bottom so it becomes all one piece. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I've taken pictures of this, and I'm going to have a little kind of primitive kind of picture that I drew on a whiteboard of the inside portion. It's just very primitive, so you can see the stakes themselves are 3/16 or 1/88, or actually they're about 1/90 in diameter. The drilled holes in here, let's take this part off. The drilled holes in here are supposed to be 3/16. No matter what you do when you drill these, even on a drill press that I do have, they're going to be a little bit oversized, but it fits in. It doesn't fit in snugly. They're a loose fit, and you can see when you put them in. They can rotate around, so you can put any way you want to put the legs. That would be fine. But they do. They're stable enough. They won't rock around too badly, and they do support the pan very well. So I'm going to show you the pictures now, and then we'll come back later and we'll do not a real burn test because I think it's really too warm out here to do an accurate burn test. But I've tested this, under conditions of timing it and also temperature up to 212, and it runs very similar to most of the Wick stoves. It runs about 6 minutes, maybe a little bit over 6 minutes, but to do it here in 90-degree heat isn't a real good evaluation. So we'll come back after you see the pictures, and we'll do that burn test. Bye-bye. Okay, here we are with the in the burning stages. You can probably hear already that we're almost starting to boil. I've had this on several minutes. It's really hard to tell. I'm not actually timing this one. I have the garage door closed so we can see what the flame pattern looks like on this particular stove. I think you can see, let's see, I think it looks pretty good here. Again, I'm not timing this because it's awful warm out here in the garage. It's in the 90s, so it really doesn't pay to test one of these under these conditions. So, but I did want you to see what the flame pattern looked like with this and see what it looked like with an Imusa 12 centimeter pot on it. I don't have a lid on the pot. We are close to a full rolling boil, but again, that doesn't mean a whole lot. And you can see now that we're actually getting, you know, the needs a refueling. Yeah, let's see. We'll just refuel it here a little bit because I don't want to use all the fuel for this purpose. So, for demonstrations. That about has it right there. That's pretty good. But anyway, that's my Budlight bottom base with tent stakes for pot stands, and I hope you like it. And I think I'm going to do my next video on my actual. I have several Trangias, and I also have the Westwind. But in fact, what I'll do is I'll just do a little clip at the end here. So for right now, we'll cut this one for right now, and then I'll come back and do just a couple of those short little clip on here to show you the what I'm probably going to show you next as far as the kind of stoves I've been building. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, this is the next stove I'd like to probably make a video on. I'm just going to do a real small little clip here on this, but normally you can see this is the Westwind stove or the pot stand or whatever you want to call it. And normally you would use, you know, a Trangia type burner. This one is one that I've kind of, you know, put a handle on the simmer ring, so you know it's always difficult to pick that up with some type of, you know, pliers or long nose or whatever else. So I put with a silicone handle on it so you can touch it. But anyway, that's normally what you would put in there. But now what I want to do is want to see if I could actually fit on a Wick stove. So I do have a Wick stove that I made for this one here, and you can see that this is what it kind of looks like. But what I'll do is I'll do a more detailed video on that here in the next few days or next week or so, and take a look and see how I did that. And until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.